When last we left the friends, Nikita visited the ever-changing scene of Alistair Avatar's tower, as well as taking care of her beloved helmet with a blacksmith in the artisan district named Hildegard. All the while, Reed went looking for leather armor and encountered far more than he was ready for. So now, with all of that completed, you all find yourself back at the Stone's Throw. It is evening on a Friday evening. What do you do?
Does anyone have any recommendations? I've been walking around all day without the helmet or hair, and my head is on fire.
You can wet a scarf. I have scarves.
Oh, if you don't mind me borrowing one, I would appreciate that. Spasiba.
Sure.
It would make a nice turban.
Whatever that is, as long as it stops the flames.
I'll go get one from the room.
Spasiba, thank you, Reed.
Reed runs upstairs.
So how was the studying, Butt Trumpet?
Very exciting. I feel very well on my way as far as I can remember because, of course, Eldred, I believe you suggested that the best way for us to get ready to learn was through drinking, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's part of the wizard's way.
You bastard.
Really? It is?
Well, you're the one who taught me this, Gaius.
Oh, no, but I'm not a wizard.
You're a wine wizard, aren't you? Isn't that what's been established?
In certain people's headcanon, perhaps, but reality is a little different, I think. Almost certain.
Oh.
Snap back to reality?
Oop, there goes gravity.
There goes gravity, exactly. And Eldred turns to you, Butt Trumpet, and says, I think we're doing just fine the way with what we're doing, so I'm not worried. High five!
That was timed perfectly.
Good Foley work.
What are the odds of that?
High five and high life.
The champagne of beer.
Yeah, Seven Rivers High Life. Usually,
weirdly bubbly.
Never mind.
Don't know why.
So, Reed, did you get your armor?
Yeah, I'm coming back with the scarf. I did. I got armor.
Nikita drops the scarf in her glass of water and just basically soaks all the water up.
I got you a red one.
Spasiba. That's ironic, but nice, I guess.
This way, if you're bleeding, no one will know, says Eldred.
Yeah.
Actually, it helps sometimes when I know if you're bleeding, because I can fix that.
Details. I am not bleeding. I'm just on fire, apparently. I don't do well without the helmet or hair.
Yeah, this not a sun folk, huh?
Kind of used to live in a mountain.
So no, yeah, not sun folk. Gotcha.
Nikita and Butt Trumpet, make me a perception check, please. Oh no. It is the Mudlarks. Has gotten a hold of the cleric.
Boo.
Okay.
Yeah. I got some allergy related post nasal drip that is just making me cough like a mofo. Yay, spring.
Must have gotten it from the eastern districts.
Yeah.
I told you should see another cleric, Claritin the Clear.
Haven't heard of them before.
So Nikita doesn't perceive anything. She's just got the scarf essentially wrapped around her entire head, two little eyeballs poking out in nose holes.
Yeah, my hood is pulled too far over my head from my dragon onesie, which I am in fact still wearing.
Which color? The red one still?
Yeah, the red one.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Gaius and Reed, give me a perception check, please.
Sure.
All right. Perception.
I am perceptive today.
Yes, and you notice.
I also noticed something.
Okay. The two of you, as you're chatting, look over to the bar. Maybe you're looking for another drink or something. And you see a small group of people by the front door, and you see Butterbeer talking to a person dressed in silks, flanked by two guards. From the coloring, you notice that these are palace guards, and the person's wearing the colors of the palace. And just as you look over, Butterbeer says something to them and points over to your table. And the guy in the silk starts walking over towards you.
Should I head under the table?
The
Should I head under
guards
the table,
stay
guys?
over by the door.
No need to hide under the table. That's probably here to talk to us for obvious reasons of how awesome we are. Does anyone know anything worth note?
The
I
modest
don't think I
chucklehead,
pissed
says
anyone off
Eldred.
today. That's pretty much a miracle.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to blend in over here.
Yeah, I can't remember doing anything today that was so funny, though.
Comes over and says, looks at a folded envelope and says, this is, I have something, the leader for this group that your bartender suggested you were.
Reed holds out his hand.
Ah,
Good,
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't gonna be me.
so you're Master Eldred. Here you go.
Reed just starts laughing.
And Eldred goes, excuse me, what?
Yep, whatever it is, it's all Eldred's fault.
Doesn't
This
need
is
to
gay.
sign for something?
Yeah. It's like blood. You sample blood here?
It's going to be a bad habit. So he hands you a letter with a royal wax seal and a ribbon sealing it, Reed.
Ooh. This looks fancy.
Looks fancy.
Guys, I emailed you the message, so you know.
Oh, okay.
I handed to Eldred first.
He opens it up, and
Is the guy waiting?
he hands it to you and says, I will be by the door when you're ready. So Eldred reads through it and says, it's come to me. I kind of understand why it's come to me, but he just hands it to you, Gaius, and says, this is probably more your bailiwick. My
Okay.
job is to make people fly from the top of the building and to drink.
Yeah, that's somewhat. Yeah, okay, sure.
Right?
Would you like me to read the letter now?
What's it say? What's it
Ah,
say?
what does it say?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Master Eldred, I quite enjoyed our last meeting. It was refreshing to be able to speak with someone of some intelligence for a change. Which Gaius just kind of looks over at Eldred and like shakes his head a little bit. During our meeting,
There was
you
alcohol
mentioned-
involved, Eldred says.
Okay. During our meeting, you mentioned that you and your friends were looking for work. I remembered that I said that I would keep an eye out for any requests that came to the palace. I have had people keep me appraised of the doings of you and your friends, and with your recent successes in the sewers, I think I might have some work for you, should you be interested. Please let the messenger know if you are, and should you desire this work, I will send someone to give you the specifics. Something to consider is that I am told that this job may be time sensitive. Thank you for your consideration. I look forward to your anticipated reply in the positive. Sincerely, Lord Quaid. Oh, hey, this is the guy you had the meeting with when I went to go meet the Baron, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the Baron's, I guess, advisor, and he's a wizard too, which is why I think he wanted to talk to me.
Ah, well, there you go.
Does this mean we might have some non-sewer work? That would be great.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it?
A
Well,
less
As long as
painful
it's not
job
in the
would be
sun
nice.
either.
I don't know. Does the palace have a sewer division?
Well, you know what? They gotta be cleaner than the ones we were in before, right?
True.
Really?
We're working our way up. The really crappy sewers, and now we're in it
Rich
it
people's
just
sewers.
smells better. Yeah, just richer, and sure, there's more flowers down there or something.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought by palace sewers you were talking about aristocrats and politicians. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, could have been both at the same time. Anywho, work. So it looks like work offer.
Excellent.
I'm down, especially if it's somewhere besides the sewers.
Agree.
Eldred says, okay, so should we let this guy know?
Oh yeah, no, totally. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Eldred looks to you guys and says, get his attention, I guess.
Do you think we have to leave right
No,
now?
Just
No,
pick
I don't
me
think
up
we're gonna
and
leave
hold
right
me
back.
over your head.
I would imagine holding up the message might do the point.
yeah, no, I was about to do that. Kind of just like hold it over my head and wave at him, like, yeah.
The messenger's talking to Butterbeer and like pointing at the casks, looks over and says, seems to kind of roll his eyes and kind of shrug his shoulders and is like, looks like he's saying never mind, and then comes over. And he says, yes, sir.
In relation to the response, we are in the affirmative. We would like to potentially do this job.
Very good. Then I will let Lord Quaid know, and he will have someone come out and give you the details.
Excellent. Do you know, because it says that the job might be time sensitive, when a messenger might come by, because in case we're not here, we want to make sure we're here to pick it up?
Well, if you have plans, I could have someone come to, like, is the morning good for you? Is the evening good for you?
I mean, if it's that tomorrow morning we should be here, that shouldn't be an issue then.
Okay.
Just we want to make sure we're here and able to respond in a timely manner. The mission we were on before for the guard took us away for a couple of days, so I just didn't want to get caught up in something and miss an important message, is all.
Okay. The palace, I don't really know what they have planned and what's going on, but they can be a little busy at times. So,
Of course.
if I just say mornings, is that a pretty safe bet? Because, I mean, they might not be able to get someone out here first thing tomorrow. But if I say mornings is good? Okay.
Safe bet,
Well, then,
yeah.
someone will be here in the next few mornings, then I would imagine.
Excellent.
Okay. Have a good day, sir.
Oh, you as
And
well.
madams, and looks at you, Butt Trumpet, and dragons.
Baby dragons.
Smiles to himself and turns around, and the guards follow after him as he leaves.
See, this is nothing but charming. This is nothing but doing us favors and getting us on people's good sides. People
That does
love
look really
little
neat.
baby dragons.
That gives
No
us an air of
problem with that.
non-threateningness.
See, it shows we're trustworthy.
Are dragons trustworthy?
Adorable baby ones are.
I don't know. My mother always said, says Eldred, you never lend money to a dragon.
Is that a saying?
Oh, yeah.
It is
Yeah.
now.
Right next to stay away from a dragon's butt. That was the other thing she used to say.
I would
I
think
would
that
really-
goes for most situations.
Yeah.
Be aware that I never actually knew my mother, so
Ah, it's all becoming clearer now.
just saying.
I try to stay away from
My mother?
as many butts as possible.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Probably good.
So anyway-
I might have words about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you
She's a
introduce
free
me?
woman.
So
Anyone?
Lord Quaid. I don't recall hearing about this.
Not a familiar name to me either.
Yeah, tell us about Lord Quaid.
Well, when we first got to town, and we made a report to the Baron, myself and Eldred got invited back up, I guess, to give a little bit more detail. So I hung out with the Baron, and Eldred went out, hang out with Lord Quaid. So that's pretty much how much I know about Quaid. The Baron, though, man, does he have good taste in drinks, let me tell you. Actually, I can't, because I can't really remember that night too clearly, which is usually a good sign.
Did they have like really good bacon at the palace? Like even better than this bacon?
Perhaps.
It was gold plated.
And you could eat it?
Yeah. Unless
That'll
you,
keep him regular.
unless you ate the plate.
Was
We
that
need
gold
to
too?
figure out
Go ahead, Nikki.
when
I'm sorry.
Eldred says these things, his nose lights up, so we know he's lying.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Nikita.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the magic shop I stopped in. There's a lot of like crap for people who don't use magic, but there are some stuff hidden for actual magic users. So you might want to check it out. They do some potions in the back, I think, and I saw some staves on the second or third floor.
Staves.
More than one staff? Is that the plural?
Oh, okay.
I believe it's
You had
Stephis's.
You had asked about a staff of the mage guy. So
Yeah, I was kidding about that, actually. I didn't think that was actually a thing, but oh no, great. They
So
have
you got
potions there?
some people were playing with herbs, not playing, but they had herbs in the back and they looked like they were doing things with them.
Oh.
Yeah. It looked pretty official to my non-whatever eyes.
Well, definitely have to check that out.
I would recommend it. Maybe after dinner or something we can go back out, or tomorrow, or I don't.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow. My face hurts.
As long as we don't go buy Happy Harry's.
Didn't
You
you
did not
want
like
to go?
Happy Harry's?
No.
Oh, he went to the other tent,
Okay.
Harry's personal tent.
Oh.
Personal.
Oh, says Eldred.
Yeah. I don't think it was regular armor. It was really scary in there.
Oh dear.
A tent in the
I am
market was
following.
scary?
Well, yeah, it was scary. I got armor somewhere else, so it's all good.
Good. Good. I also found a good place that does armor in the artisan district. I have left her my helmet, and because I couldn't pay her, I also left her my new chainmail. So I fucked that
How
up,
much?
guys.
How much were you short?
Like 35 gold.
Oh, okay. We'll take care of that. Did you happen to go see Sparkle Bottom while we were out? Yeah.
Yeah, like I gave you all my money, so I couldn't get in.
So you okay? I guess.
Real
Well,
good planning on my part.
it's don't worry. It's logistics can sometimes. You don't know how much you're going to spend. It's a big town.
Eldred says we've been in that position, so don't feel
Yes.
bad.
Yeah.
Well, Nikita, you might need your armor for this job. We don't know
Nah.
what the job is. Yeah.
We'll
There's
figure
a
it out
horse
tomorrow.
outside.
Outside.
Horse is double parked outside.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Gaius reaches in and takes out 35 gold and slides it over to Nikita. He's like, "Here you go." So at some point, maybe tomorrow or whatever, you can go to the artisan and pay them off and pick up your armor in case we need it sooner rather than later. But then,
but wouldn't you be coming with us to see Sparkle Bottom?
oh well, doesn't Sparkle Bottom usually work at night? Like,
This is true.
I would assume you wanted to go.
Tonight.
Guys kind of like looks out the window. Soonish?
Yeah.
Is the
Head
sun set
flames.
yet?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's
dark outside now. Yeah. Eldred says that they thought that the Sparkle Bomb thing was going to be tomorrow night because you had something to do.
Oh, is that what's going to happen? Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what was mentioned when last this topic was brought up.
Oh, that's fine then, yeah.
Spasiba part far.
Well, how much was the entrance fee?
Silver something.
Was it a silver?
Like 1 silver, 5 silver. We gave it to a big ogre named Crom. That's all I remember. Big guy,
Guys, just
nice
look-
tattoos.
Guys just looks around. He's like, God.
I am so sorry. I hate doing this. Ah.
Here's your allowance. No, don't
I
go
will
spending
call
it
you.
at the club too much at the club.
Thank you,
No gold-plated
Father.
bacon, Reed.
I mean, I could help if you want. I got some money.
I might also have
Oh.
money, actually. I don't think this costs that much.
Well, here's
Good.
some
We
walking
can
around
all
money,
buy
Nikita,
drinks
just for
tomorrow.
you.
Yay.
Eldred says, now, just make sure with that allowance that you make sure that those dishes get done properly this time.
Why does she have to
Okay.
watch? Why does she have to wash dishes?
Well, it's an allowance, right?
Where are these dishes that I need to make sure are okay?
So no, don't worry about the dishes. I'll have you take out the trash later. And the guy kind of just looks over at Eldred.
I like this idea. Can I throw him out the window like the corpses? Ooh, I said that too loud.
Yes, you did.
It's okay. He can fly.
Eldred smiles and says, yeah, we can do that, although I thought we might start with dinner if you're going to take me out.
Nah.
I'm down for dinner.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah. Reed and I have had an exciting day.
Yeah, how did the dirty mermaid person go? No,
Mm.
the other one across from
Yeah,
mermaid.
yeah. We
Gaius
went.
did
to-
this. Gaius did this magic. It was so cool. Well,
What did he do?
he made like tentacles come out of the ground and scare
What?
people or something, or light.
Not-
and,
Not tentacles.
no.
Definitely not tentacles. I summoned spirits to assist us in the fight. Granted,
Wow.
they did kind of look a little ominous, but it's mostly like a color palette thing. I think on my side, you know, the dark
definitely think I
purple
saw
can
it.
look sinister.
I definitely think I saw tentacles.
No, they definitely didn't have tentacles. Claws for hands, probably, but not tentacles.
Oh, so really
Perhaps
long
your brain was
nails.
still stuck at Dirty
Yeah.
Harry's or whatever his name. Lucky Harry? Happy Harry's.
Happy.
Dirty Harry's. Nope. Try again.
Dirty Harry's Lucky Harry.
It's an alliteration. Try again.
It was Dirty Harry's, and so he stood far away and he went, "Go ahead, make my day."
Did I
I feel
five?
lucky?
Did I five 5 arrows?
Want
To
to get
6 arrows,
lucky,
punk.
thief?
No, but there were these
But-
thugs. They jumped us at the docks, and
Well, that
of
was
course,
stupid
they,
of them.
They thought about it, but
Ah,
Some of
Gaius,
them did.
Gaius was amazing.
You did well too.
very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And the Dock Workers Guild guy, did you find them for the?
Oh yeah, that went out fine. Oh wait, by the way, Gaius kind of leans in and drops his voice. Don't bring up Cavendish, like, just casually, because they're not really known. But if people knew about them, next thing you know, we're going to be sent down there to try and kill them. Which I kind of have a moral quandary about, to be
Problem.
quite honest. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
Plus,
So
they were really big. Some really big rats.
Yeah, no, there was also that. They were large.
And there were a lot of them, says Eldred.
Yep. Quite a few. Yep. But so that went well.
Good.
That message was passed on, so that debt has been taken care of. And then,
There's like a secret thing they're going to get on a boat or something. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we could have implied that. You know how we like it, and they want 3 large ships. And then after we left there, we got jumped by some punks. Oh, we got like what? 2 sword, a blunt instrument, some coins. Not a lot of coins, really, but yeah, it was a fruitful afternoon of
And there was no guards
Fishing.
around, so it was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you do with their bodies?
Oh, if we went and fed the fish.
I like this.
Guys threw them in the river. In the lake.
Probably
What?
much easier than out the window.
Oh yeah, way more convenient when you're right near a body of water. Anywho, that was our day.
Well, it
So that's-
sounds,
Blood trumpet. Whoop.
I was just going to say, it sounded like a full, rich day.
Oh yeah, got to stretch my legs a little bit, try out a new spell. It was all great.
I was just going to say that I checked on Alistair's tower, and it's freaking huge. It's like still getting bigger. It's taken up the whole square and like digging under the pavement ground.
No.
They had someone there. Oh, I wrote the name down. They had someone there from the university studying it, but I couldn't talk to him. I might try again.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, it is still growing. It is still blue and spiky.
Eldred, you should fly up to the top and see if there's like a door or something up there.
Oh,
Yeah, bud.
I fly only in one direction, which is usually down.
That doesn't seem very fruitful.
Well, I don't have
Also
the fly
doesn't seem-
spell. Yeah, I just have the fall spell.
So
I
you can
don't think
feather
that's
fall.
a spell.
Oh,
No, that's a spell.
yeah, I forgot about that. That is a spell, isn't it?
It's
No,
the,
I
it's,
was-
the,
I was-
it's the oh shit spell, as I like to call it.
I can
Oh.
imagine.
I always thought of the fall spell as the oh shit spell. Featherfall would actually make that a lot easier.
Yeah, because you could live.
Good to know.
Shall we eat?
Yeah, let's order around, get all that good stuff.
I
Sounds
assumed
like a
that
plan.
when you all met here at the inn that you had already started drinking, being that
Oh.
that's your way. So the rounds have been coming as you've been there. You
The
can
round of
order some
food.
dinner.
Yes.
You know, it's mutton again this evening that they have available, and
Mutton
you can have
yesterday,
that.
mutton today.
I think I actually like the box better than Happy Harry's.
Yeah.
Elder says that's a bold statement.
Let's eat and drink, and I'll pay tonight, okay, guys?
Yeah, I mean,
If
we kind
we
of just have a
pay.
tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we
Oh.
have a tab. They just kind of calculate. If you want to just throw money, give money to Butterbeer to, pay forward,
Okay.
that kind of thing, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Reed.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, Reed.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Master Reed, says Eldred.
Sure.
So we'll say that you eat and drink and talk into the night until everyone's ready to go to bed. You go to bed. Somebody roll me a 20-sided die, please.
7.
Okay.
Well, 16. I don't know about
16. So 16 people show up to try to take Buck Trumpet away.
I can only sit on so many.
Just taking a guess.
No, no,
You-
no, 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 no.
Everyone but Butt Trumpet makes it through with a restful night. Butt Trumpet keeps kind of waking up going, what was that? But everybody makes it through the night and gets a full night's sleep, even though in the case of Buttram, it's not 100%, smooth and restful. You get up the next morning, each in turn come down. You have a full breakfast of sausages, bacon, a kind of baked egg dish that has some vegetables in it, and some a spicy little sauce, it seems, over top of it, with a loaf of brown bread and all your usuals. You're up and ready for the day. It does not look like anyone from the palace arrives as you're eating or afterwards or anything like that.
Is Butterbeer here in the morning or no?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Reed will give him some coin.
Okay.
And I just go over to the bar and I plop it on the bar and I say, "This is for our tab." I think.
Okay.
Gaius
How much do you put down?
I'm gonna put 5 gold down.
Okay. He goes, "I will make sure this is added to your tab." Thank you very much, Master Reed.
Sure.
Are you enjoying your stay here?
I forgot
at the
to give it to you
Stones?
last night.
No problem.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's very good.
I was going to send you over the children's menu when you first came over until you ordered ale, and then I realized I was mistaken.
What's on the children's menu?
Oh, goblin fingers and
Oh,
Ew.
it's actually chicken, but
Oh.
but
Goblin fingers,
chicken.
gin.
On the children's menu?
yeah,
gin. It's a
Okay.
kid's drink, right?
yeah.
Knocks him right out.
Yeah. Right to sleep every time.
And chocolate milk. There's chocolate.
Right.
Oh, gin and chocolate milk.
Just a tot of gin.
No.
We
Gin does not
have
go
it
with
right on
dairy.
the menu. Tanqueray tots.
Ugh.
For tots.
There you go. Tots for tots. It's a whole program. Okay, so you
program after that. So
Yeah.
or new children, depending on the grade of the gin.
so
So everyone's well fed, possibly well lubricated in the way of Gaius and Reed usually.
Feeling
Or
fine.
in the case of Butt Trumpet, well caffeinated. And Nikita usually, although Butt Trumpet always seems to go for the high test in the little glasses.
At some point, I'm going to be swinging by the market because I wanted to see if they had my armor finished, and then I'm going to be meeting a friend later in the afternoon, also there as well. So I'm going to free for whatever you guys want to do before that, though.
We should probably go with Nikita to get her armor, right? Or
Oh yeah, we could swap that back out.
yeah.
Also,
That would be nice.
is the armor you used, was that in the artisan district?
Yes. Right out by that ugly black cathedral.
Ah. Oh, did you stop by the map maker when you were over there?
Did not. But we could do
Ah.
that now.
Eldred
Yes.
says, wait a minute. Aren't we skipping over something really lightly? Gaius is
Coming
meeting
through.
a friend?
Oh, you're right. Sorry. It was more of a casual acquaintance. Didn't I tell someone this?
Who is it?
Some people were there. Oh, wait. Who wasn't there?
Did we see this person? I remember something, but
or did you make
Yeah,
it
you
up?
came. No, I didn't make it up. Not Eldred.
Hey, I'm right here.
I know.
I don't make anything up. I am a very, very trustworthy wizard.
It's weird that inflection you put on wizard when you said that. Put a weird inflection on that. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I am a trustworthy wizard?
Yeah. I could have swore I brought the... either way. I ran into
didn't tell
somebody
me.
who used... son of a... You were there, Reed. You weren't, like, right next to me, but you were there at the market.
Oh.
You guys came up after the fact and were like, who is that? And I was like, this is a guy I used to know.
Oh,
Is this the
that
Happy
one.
Harry guy?
No, well, no. I don't think he works for Happy Harry.
Oh,
But no, not that I'm... Yes, you see?
There we
Fish.
go.
There's a horse that goes by the inn that really seems to have a bad case of the mudlarks.
I said fish, not horse.
Yes,
Fish
so...
and the Mudlarks?
No, Fish is a human being.
Oh,
Eldred says they do have fish at the market. I've seen it. They're big.
Son of a... The guy's name, the person, the sentient being is named Fish.
He has a.
He's a human. He's a
that's
human.
right, 'cause I was confused that the human would be named Fish.
Why is your friend
I
named
don't-
Fish?
I didn't
the
pick his
sentient
name.
fish?
I didn't pick his name. I'm not going to engage with you.
Gaius is setting a boundary and not giving
that-
his energy to this conversation.
So
Is
when
Is that
I
his
ran
job?
in, son of a bitch. No,
sorry. No.
he, if I could finish a story one of these times, is a person that I knew from back in the day, an acquaintance that I would occasionally gamble with. He got the nickname Fish, which for some reason he took willingly, mostly because people considered him an easy mark because he wasn't a very good gambler. Ironically, I found out that he's in town to potentially participate in that big gambling event being held up yonder. He asked if I would like to go gambling with him Saturday because he thinks he found a place. I said yes, because hopefully I could milk these people for money. Because, let's be honest, adventuring hasn't been paying out as much as I would like.
I can speak
Also-
to that.
Also, it's a fun time, as long as you set limits, hard limits on yourself. Don't worry, I won't be gambling with any of the party's funds, mostly because most of the funds I have left are just my money that I've won, ironically, from rigged gambling games the last time I was allowed to gamble.
Allowed?
Yeah, we don't want to lose so much money we get kicked out of the Stone's Throw.
No, I wouldn't do it in my place of living. That's just, there's a bad precedent there.
Where do
you
you
do
have
it
to go
where
to
nobody
gamble?
knows your name. I don't
Where
know.
do you-
Fish is going, I'm good. I'll find out when I talk to him later today.
You know, my mother used to have a saying about that. You know, you don't craps where you work.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. Well, in this case, I think it's cards.
Ah.
Might be some dice involved, though. I'm kind of, whatever you guys got. I like it all. But anyway,
Speaking
Am
of
I going to
gambling,
be allowed to come with you guys anywhere?
I
Why
mean,
wouldn't you?
I
We're
just
not
want
going
to
to
make
the
sure it's
docks.
safe this time. Okay,
in the dragon suit, you should be okay, hopefully.
perfect.
That's right,
Yeah.
says Eldred, because dragon hide is very hard to penetrate.
Then I shan't take it off.
Excellent.
So
The
good.
gambling event, it's a big deal, da?
well, the one he's here for is what we're doing is some pre-gambling. But I'm kind of hoping. I'm kind of hoping if I can get some introductions through him with whoever's potentially sponsoring him, it might help us out in the long run. Make
Definitely,
connections,
especially
friends.
if you're a better gambler, maybe they prefer to back you.
We'll find out. We'll see how the dice roll when the cards turn.
But that makes me remember something she says as she's scratching her face and parts of her skin start coming off.
Oh,
Okay, that's disturbing. What,
You're
Trumpet?
molting.
I'm molting. Didn't Mammalian like to gamble?
Oh. Oh, now that you mention it. Yeah. Yeah, you did.
You need to get to this event, Gaius, and find him.
If I can, and if he's there, I will certainly attempt to, at the very least.
Maybe he'll be trying to recruit more people to get me.
Duh. Or at least we can see who this bastard is.
And maybe figure out why he's after you?
Duh.
Well, I mean, I know he wasn't happy when he lost me last time.
I would imagine, yeah.
So, I can imagine he probably just wants me back. Which I would really love to not have be a thing, personally.
It won't be a thing.
Yeah,
Over
no,
my
that's...
dead, molting body.
But Trumpet hugs Nikita.
I hug them back. And
Now-
get poked
now,
with a dragon's
Now,
tail.
gently now, I think some of the layers kind of she's peeling.
Oh no. Eldred, do you have an
figured that
ointment?
out.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Let me go in the kitchen and cast ointment. I'll be right back.
Alica neosporin.
Or just aloe vera. It's a plant. I know it's a plant. I've seen him.
Eldred goes in the kitchen.
This isn't magic, people. We could just use aloe vera. She has a
What
sunburn.
you said was very funny.
And then Eldred comes back and sits down. And he goes, the spell takes a while. It'll be along in a little bit.
Spasiba, I think. Nikita looks at his nose hard to see if it's glowing.
He looks at you intently and makes his nostrils flare.
That's creepy.
He pushes a little too hard and he toots.
Was there anything... we could probably, Eldred, hit the magic shop on the way over there, duh?
Sure.
Artisan District and Mapmaker?
It actually would probably be, if you're headed to the Ratskeller later today, it probably would be easier to do then.
I just walked it yesterday and my geography is terrible. I should have, drawn myself a map.
It's okay. It's a big city.
Duh.
Can I tag along with you, Nikita, later to the Ratskeller?
Of course. Hopefully everybody can. Except, Gaius with his friend. Feeesh.
Casual acquaintance is more
Casual
thing,
acquaintance. Feesh.
You said friend.
Why are people making this weird?
I just like the way she said it. Feesh.
That's how you say it, yes? Feesh?
Yes, it is. I just love it. It's friend. Feesh.
We're still your best friends, right, guys?
Oh, yes. Most certainly.
Who could say no to this
That
dragon
sounded
face?
like Eldred tone.
No.
You mean musical, obviously.
Oh, obviously. Not sarcastic
Yeah.
at all.
No.
We should really work on a handshake.
Ooh, a secret
What's
friend
wrong with-
handshake?
Yes.
I was going to say, what's wrong with handshakes? Just the standard one.
We should probably come up with a name before we come up with a handshake. That's usually, I think, the way it's done.
It's also true.
Dire Feesh.
Dire.
Dire
Maybe,
Feeesh.
maybe something
Person-
that'll allude to our sarcasm.
I'm all for
There
bacon
we
buddies.
go.
I think bacon buddies is what we should go.
No.
Oh, that could work.
That sounds dirty.
It does sound like a sex act that you would perform in the Eastern District.
That sounds
So
like
he
a
just-
very
He just
very-
went right out and said it.
I want some bacon buddies. How much is it for a bacon buddy?
With how many people, good sir?
Is this what you were doing down? You were finding this sort of stuff out down at the docks?
Oh no. Please. I'm a cleric of the revels. I know all kinds of crazy shit.
Oh boy. I was thinking something that came a little later, like, oh man, I think I caught a case of the bacon buddies.
What? It's also that.
Oh, that's
Or, wait. What about bacon
yeah.
bunnies?
bacon bunnies. Yeah, there you go.
We sound
That'll
edible.
incite fear in any employer.
But we could get like ears on our helmets. We could get helmets with ears.
The Dire Bunnies.
Dire bunnies. Look out
No.
for the teeth.
Look at the bones.
Oh boy.
Are we,
Reed, would
are we
those
supposed to
ears be
sound
made of
mean
bacon?
now? Are we supposed to sound mean now? Maybe we should.
Eldred says to you, Buttram, I think you're onto something there. As I think Reed's onto something too.
Okay, let's work on a logo.
You have to workshop it though. Okay. So Gaius has to go to the market this evening, later today. And Nikita needs to go to the artisan district, to that pavilion. This evening, Gaius has a date with a fish, and the rest of us are probably going to go to the Rathskeller for the evening.
Duh.
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I had that right.
Oh, map maker. When do you want to hit the map maker?
Map maker, make me a map.
That was over by they were in the artisan district, so I assume
Yeah.
they're relatively
Yeah.
close.
Gaius
Okay.
in the market first if he's still alive.
Is it safe for us to be around him if he's catching the mudlarks? Do you think that's what he has, is the mudlarks?
No.
No?
No, I definitely there's pollen in the air. Or
If you
dust.
say so.
Oh.
Detect pollen.
Yes.
From behind you guys, you hear, I resent that. I dust this place. And you see Mrs. Wiggins, the old woman from the kitchen, come with a bowl and a bowl and puts it in front of, okay, which of you is having the skin irritation?
That would be me with the flaky face.
She just kind of looks at you and blinks and says, I'm not saying a word to that. Puts the bowl in front of you and says, if you just kind of take this and put it on your face like a mask and let it sit for a couple hours, it should help. Don't sniff it in too much. It's going to smell horrible. And she turns around and goes back into the kitchen.
How are you not supposed to sniff it if it's on your face?
Thank you, Reed. I was just thinking that. Nikita takes the bowl and just dumps it slowly on her head and lets it drip. And what does it smell like?
What level of sewer odor do we have here?
Oh, this is nothing like the sewers. It's nowhere near that bad compared to the sewers, and even compared to the cloud in the eastern districts. This is a walk in the park. It just kind of smells like stinky feet mixed with some vegetables that have maybe turned
Just don't let me forget that it's on here before we go anywhere.
Eldred
I'd be
says, did
impressed
you
if you
hear
did
what you
forget.
just said? Do you really think that's possible?
I can be forgetful. I mean, I went and bought armor yesterday without money.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That
Nah.
is impressive.
Yeah,
That takes skill. You have to really be trying.
exactly. I am very trying.
And a hush falls upon the room, says Eldred. Eldred, okay, so you're all finished eating. You're still drinking. It's probably about 11 in the morning, we'll say.
Okay, so we have Artisan District, Market, and at some point you're going over to the university area for the latter half of the day. So I guess we can go to the Artisan first, and then we'll split off because I got to meet Fish over at the Market District, so I could go there myself unless somebody else really needs to as well.
Do you need backup with Feesh?
Nah, I'm fine.
It's not a dangerous fish or a man-eating fish.
Nope. Not as far as I'm aware of.
Feesh.
Is he a bait fish luring you to a bigger fish?
Are you saying that Gaius is just going to kind of put his worm out there on a hook and see if anything bites?
I wasn't thinking about hooks.
To take this in a different direction, is there one fish, two fish, a red fish,
Red
a
fish, blue fish.
Nope, just the one gentleman named Fish.
fish?
Gaius, and Reed talks a little lower. He says, "Do you think he's part of like a guild or something?"
Guild?
Not that I'm aware of. Unless, like I said, he was kind of a small fish in a small pond to begin with. So, yeah, I went there
so there's
too.
not a school of fish?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Like in the university district.
Exactly.
No, I think what he's saying is this is an uneducated fish.
I know he has had some connections that have kept him alive because, like I said, he wasn't like the best at gambling. So he might, be somebody's, somebody important's son, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think he works for Scale?
So artisan, map maker, and then you split off for Fish. Gotcha.
You let us know if you get a sinking feeling.
Or a case of the bacon bunnies?
That might be for a totally different reason.
Well, it depends where fish is taking him.
you're making real Chris wish he was drinking right now in real life.
Alas, our work is done.
Anywho, let's leave.
Anyway.
Okay, so walking, carriage, how are you getting to the Artisan District?
What's the travel time to the Artisan District on foot?
Probably about an hour, maybe a little bit less, depending on if the streets are crowded or not.
I guess we can walk. Yeah.
Head
Is it-
out.
Is it okay?
The math.
Is it? I'm sorry. Is it considered okay to like carry a knife or?
You don't want to carry it openly. If you have your weapons and they're peace bonded, that's fine. If you have leather armor, you should be okay. Although it is suggested if you have like your studded leather that you wear like a cloak or something over top. Chain mail, scale mail, plate mail, things like that you're not allowed to wear. That's like openly showing, a tendency towards trouble.
What's the policy on onesies with pockets?
I believe that is
Look out.
perfectly acceptable.
Couldn't hurt to ask.
Remember that we might go clubbing.
Nah.
This is perfect for that.
So make sure you bring your pacifier.
Don't forget your glue sticks.
Yeah.
Dancing lights, but in stick form.
Ooh. Can you do that?
You've been to the Ratskeller, you see what they're capable of.
So I will wipe off my face before we leave and then use Reed's scarf again to basically cover everything but my eyes, and not too
Eldred-
mummy-ish, but more like,
When you-
turban that's come down.
When you get started, Eldred says, weren't you supposed to leave that on for a few hours? You just put it on.
I wasn't sure if it had been a few hours.
No, she gave it to you. You poured it over your head. A few things were said, and then everyone was like, okay, let's go.
But I know I didn't want to walk outside with it. So it's
Well,
off.
we got
and
time.
at
We
least
can
my
hang
face
here,
is
right?
covered.
So do you want to wait a little bit, or do you want to just take it off?
Could you put it on the wrapping?
You can put it under the scarf.
Okay. I will just smell bad again, as usual. Okay.
Oh. Oh.
That's the spirit.
We could look for some. We could look for some perfume.
We have all smelled way worse.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but
Fact.
still.
But
Yeah.
remember, clubbing.
Oh, it has to come off before then. Must. It must.
It musk.
That too.
It is a bit musky.
Sorry. Okay, so I gently wrap the scarf around the face mask.
Okay, some of the scarf soaks up some of the pack, so it kind of looks like you kind of dunked your head in something, but that's perfectly natural looking in the city. No one looks twice about that.
Okay.
You walk up towards the artisan district. Takes about an hour. Anybody but Trumpet, give me a perception check. Okay.
11.
You do notice that as you're walking through the streets, which are really bustling, and some of the bigger ones are really crowded. Some of the side streets, not so much. Some of the alleys look abandoned, but every now and then you'll see something move around. But in the big streets, you do periodically notice, like, especially amongst older women and children, a lot of them just kind of looking at Butt Trumpet as you guys walk by, just kind of like with their heads tilted and just kind of like a curious look on their face. But you make it up to the artisan district. There seems to be a vibe up there that is very similar to the market. Although, whereas the market, you have the feel that a lot of people are going there with something in mind, like kind of to do their shopping, things like this. The artisan district, especially on the weekend, seems to feel you get a lot of people who are here kind of, it's almost like this is a day trip for them sort of thing, looking around the shops and in the pavilion and everything. You get a feeling a certain number of them are also headed like towards the Black Cathedral. It's a similar vibe, but yet a different vibe all the same. So you make it there. The alleyways that you can walk through and down are interconnected in the artisan district. They remind you of the shadow streets if the shadow streets were really nice, really kept clean and everything, and weren't constantly darkened, like in the shadow of the mountaintops. Because the artisan district's a little farther away from the cliffs than the shadow streets. And then, like, one of the main focal points are this series of large pavilions, which are just kind of open areas with large roofs, like metal roofs over top of them, in which different people have set up businesses. The one all the way to the east, which is the one closest to the direction of the Black Cathedral, seems to be where a lot of the businesses that are have more of an industrial feel to them, like working with metals and and glass blowers and people who need kilns and furnaces and forges and such to work. That seems to be the location where most of those people are. You get there, and it's a small little area in the pavilion, like so many others. It's whereas the others seem to have a number of people working in them, or a main person working in them with people helping them. This seems to be one person, a very tall and muscular female with kind of a light reddish brown hair pulled back in a ponytail that looks like it probably started the day off as a bun, but has just come loose as the day has gone on. Wearing a sleeveless shirt and just showing huge muscles on these arms and a thick, sturdy build, kind of now covered in sweat and soot and everything, and they're just working at the forge, hammering away at something that looks like it might be a sword, or you're not quite sure at this point, 'cause it looks like it's at the start of what they're working on.
I try to get her attention by saying Hildegard loudly and waving.
Okay. Takes a couple times, but give me we'll make it a persuasion check, I guess, just to see, if you're loud enough. Just for funsies, as one of you once said. Okay. Woo-hoo. It takes a little while. It's kind of loud over here. You have the sound of the kilns and the forges and everything, and the banging on metals and everything. It takes a while, but eventually she goes, yes. What, back so soon? I haven't even had a chance to get started yet, I'm afraid.
No, that is fine. I didn't expect it. This is the group of people I've been adventuring with, friends of mine. This is Hildegard. Isn't she wonderful?
You're very tall.
Hello.
She kind of blushes a little bit and wipes away some of the dirt from her face and smiles and says that most kind, thank you.
Basically, I'm here to pick up the chainmail I left you, and you said pay half up front for the helmet?
Yes. Yeah, we can do
Excellent.
that. She reaches down beneath into a crate beneath one of the tables, and takes out the chainmail and puts it on the table before you, and it's indeed your chainmail.
Spasiba. I will half of 35 gold. I will round up just to make it an even gold number.
Okay.
So like 30, 18?
18 works. 20 works. Whatever you want to give.
18 gold. Wonderful. Do any of you can see what she makes and what she builds? What else do you do? Maybe, I think, does everyone have enough armor and weapons now?
Oh, I'm good on that part for now. Depending upon our next activities, maybe I'll get something finer. But I've got some stuff being custom, as he gestures to his also big self. Normal stuff doesn't necessarily always fit.
Hildegard looks at you and nods and closes her eyes and nods and knowing and says, totally understand.
Yes, you and I, cut from the same cloth.
Except he's a wizard.
A wine wizard.
Yes, there it goes.
Yes, I'm just a simple blacksmith.
A metal wizard.
All of a sudden you're da-na-na.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I guess we should let you get back to it. I hope you're doing well. Have a nice day.
You as well. Always a pleasure. And I'll see you next week, probably.
Bye.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for helping my friend.
she kind of looks around at first and then kind of looks over the table, leaning forward, looks down and sees you and says, "Ah, little dragon.
That's me.
If I have problems with my forge, maybe you could help me with the fire."
I give little finger guns like, hey.
I will keep that in mind. And then she winks at you.
I'm telling you guys, this was a great investment.
I have to agree.
Has done nothing but made us friends.
Yep.
So now we need to find the map maker, duh?
A survival check or a history check. Someone make it for me.
Oh boy.
I'm decent at survival, so I'll give that one
Okay,
a
good.
go.
Anyone
with
who
us
was
too,
at the anyone who was at the map maker before. So great.
Yep,
You
I remember.
yes.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
You find your way over to where that alley where you found it.
Mhm.
Bookfinder's Alley.
Yes. And you find the hanging sign over top that says McNally's, and you're there at the door.
I walk in.
Okay.
I walk in behind him.
And I'm
Hello.
trailing behind Nikita.
And I'm here too.
Okay. As you go in, the bell over top of the door rings, and you find yourself in a familiar shop. Simple, tall table, drafting table. Sitting behind it is that young man you know as Norbert. Very plain looking, a little studious looking, who seems to be working on drawing something. Behind him is a table with a whole bunch of what look like large parchment scrolls on it. Back behind that, you can see a wall of shelves that is filled with nothing but these same similar scrolls of parchment. And he looks up and when he hears the bell and says, "Ah, good day. Some of you have been here
Good day.
before, haven't you?
Yep.
Yep.
What can I do for you today?"
If you remember the conversation we had the last time we were here, we were letting you know we were heading down into the sewers, and we're curious if you wanted to, I guess, have a kind of map of that area, I guess, or the areas we
we had
explored.
talked about that. So you were able to map out the entire sewers in that short period of time, huh? That's impressive.
Oh, not the entire, but from our first major excursion down there, we figured to see, like, if you were interested in seeing the layout of it so far. And also, I wanted to check and see if you had said that maybe there was a way to get, like, you know, travel-sized version of a map for us for the area, not just the area, but, like, you know, between, like, here and Honkmar and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, we had talked about there was a map of the eastern districts you had mentioned, if I remember correctly, a map of the Overlook you had mentioned, and and a map of the barony we had talked about.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember the basic black and white map of the barony, I believe, was 95, whereas the color map was 300. The map of the eastern districts and the map of the Overlook were each, I believe, 50.
Yeah. I'm thinking the barony. What does that map include? How far does that one go out? Like, does that just include Seven Rivers or?
Oh, no. That goes as far north, like right up to the border of the Gray Wastes.
Mm.
The southernmost point of the map is Seven Rivers and a little bit of the lake. It goes out to the mountain range that's just this side of the Sanding Sea, and it goes as far west as the Split Mountains.
I think for our adventuring purposes, probably and Gaius kind of pulls out like a sketch that he has done since his time's coming out of the sewer. I mean, it's the turns he's taken, that kind of thing. So this is what we've gotten from the sewer so far from the Eastern District. Almost as much as we could navigable passes, if you will.
Navigoogle passes?
Navigable passes.
That must
Passes
be
you can go.
Oh. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
That.
You're making fun of me. You can't even do it yourself.
Navigable passages.
Navigable passes. Yes.
Places
those.
we can go, as opposed to
Yes.
that are closed. That.
Yeah.
Closed?
Actual cave-ins, places too small, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
So-
with obviously with the bitch being over there, there's some collapses and drops.
Okay.
Infrastructure has been an issue, obviously.
Gotcha.
Nah.
Okay. So you show them what you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you had mapped out the area when you and Reed had gone down there and had the situation with the crawlers.
Yes.
And I believe you mapped out the section over to the mousekin.
Yep.
Is that about it?
Yeah, because once we started making drops an indeterminate length downward, it's kind of like, at this point, just head north.
Right. Okay, so
But
that's what you showed?
Also, guys, is kind of like, I kind of don't want people to go toward the Cavendish because they'll
Yeah.
probably get themselves killed.
Okay. He looks at it and says, okay. Well, this is a good start. It's I know, I mean, just if you look at the eastern districts, how big that is, it's obviously, like how, he points to some of the rooms and he says, how big are some of these? So I have an idea of scale.
Oh, there was a lot of average 20 by 20 rooms. It felt like.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this really is a small, like, area that you have here. Okay. Well, it's a good start.
It felt
Wait,
big to
but-
us.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. I would imagine the sewers would be a little cramped and more than a little smelly.
Oh, you better
So-
believe
Then
it.
a little.
So okay, yeah, keep at it. What I would recommend is that if you do want to do something with this, I would definitely consider cleaning it up a little bit before I see it.
Oh yeah, no, it's this is just kind of a rudimentary, doing it in the moment so I don't get lost kind of thing.
Okay, so did you have an interest in any of those aforementioned maps?
Definitely the Barony map. We're going to be in town for a little while longer, so I don't necessarily need to pick it up right now. Obviously.
Okay, 'cause I have one available if you want it.
Could you put that to the side for me? And
Sure.
please. Appreciate that because at some point I have a feeling we'll be leaving Seven Rivers to venture elsewhere, and we would definitely appreciate having a map on hand for in case we have to take a detour if a road is unable to be traveled for whatever reason.
Understood. If you're going to be traveling through the barony, it's always helpful to know where you're going.
Oh, yes.
That's how people get lost. That's what keeps us in business.
Yes. Yes, no. Anywho, yes. Well, excellent. Good, thank you. Yeah, I guess I'm done here. Does anyone else? No? Good?
I can't afford a map.
I mean, I can. It's just silly to buy a barony map before we leave Seven Rivers.
And I don't anticipate not being with somebody else, so...
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, you gotta stick with us, Butt Trumpet.
Eldred says, yes, indeed.
Well, all right then. It's as always a pleasure to interact with you. I guess we'll see you again. See you around, and yes, please keep that barony map, the black and white one, tucked away. No need for the color. Not that fancy.
No problem. It's a nice map. I will tell you that.
I believe it.
Very nice. Full color. But, yeah, okay. Well, you let me know when you're ready, and we do occasionally go through them. At the moment, I have about 6 on hand, so just to keep that in mind.
Okay. Thank you.
You betcha. Have a good day.
You as well.
Bye. Bye, Norbert.
Bye. Next stop.
We should get lunch.
Or tea.
There are
Or
some
tea.
you've seen as you've been walking through these alleys some cafes. You did see a tea house which seems to be attached to a place that sells loose tea and teapots and cozies and that sort of thing. You've also seen people with little carts and little kiosks in the larger walkways, selling different things to eat. Fried flatbreads with things on top of them. You found the toad in a hole that you've had before that you like so much. Cuts of meat that are put into bread or pastries. You found people selling meat pies of all different kinds. Just kind of, you do find that as you've been here a little while, you have found that most of the street food, and even in a lot of the pubs, a lot of pastries and baked goods and such are always involved in the food around here.
Well, I could eat anything, but you guys pick something. How soon do you have to meet Fish?
Feesh.
You have a couple hours, probably, you would guess.
Yeah. It's like I can grab a bite, but definitely.
Let's have drinks too.
Da. This sounds good.
There are some pubs here as well.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Stop at one of those.
Cool.
Whatever
Something
catches
with
our
an
eye.
So you're going to
whatever has
stop.
an interesting sign.
Yeah, the
Okay.
funnest name.
You find one called the Smoldering Widow, one called the Swearing Saint, and
we know one of those. We know one of those.
Swearing Saint.
No, I think.
Oh, you have the Swearing Saint. What was the first one I gave you?
Smoldering,
Smoldering
Widow.
Widow. The 10 Bells.
Did we hear music coming from any of them?
Yes, most of them, as a matter of fact.
Swearing Saint sounds fun.
Okay.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, so you go into the Swearing Saint. There is a woman up on a small stage in the corner with a harp, and she's singing a song, and you're catching little bits of it where it's, I picked my love a flower, and it began to bloom, and it's just kind of very saccharine love song she doesn't look very interested in it as she's singing, as she's just kind of in her own thoughts. But it's fair because no one seems to be paying attention to her either. The the pub is kind of hopping. There's a lot of people having lunch, a lot of people just drinking. It's kind of like if you went to historic Williamsburg or out to, someplace like South Street on a late Saturday to one of the bars there, and it's just it's busy. People are eating, people are drinking. It's loud. The people are far louder than she is. There are tables, there are booths, there's the bar. You may have to take a little while to find an opening, but that's what you see before you.
I will put Butt Trumpet up on my shoulders to see if they can get the better view of any available tables or booths or anything.
Okay, Butt Trumpet, give me a perception check, please.
Righty-roo. Oh!
You, with your dragon eyes, notice on the far side there seems to be a large family getting up. The parents have gotten up. They're trying to get their kids together. The table is covered in platters and tankards and such. The kids seem to have crumbs in their hair and stuff smeared on their faces, but you notice that table seems to be looking like they're going to be leaving soon. Other than that, it seems like everything's taken.
I point them all in the direction of that table and do we want to be vultures?
Yeah.
We ride!
You make a beeline over to the table, and the last child, who's wearing a onesie that's baby blue with kind of purple polka dots and a pink ridge down the back, much like Butt Trumpets is getting out and being helped out by the parents. The only problem is they don't see you, Butt Trumpet, because they have the googly eyes down, and it seems to be a few sizes too big for them. So,
see, I jumped on this before it became a trend, and now I'm hip. No one would suspect a thing.
Eldred says, you pulled the wool over everyone's eyes.
That's a relief, because I don't know what material this is, but it's pulled right over my eyes.
You sit down. A very harried looking barmaid comes over and is just kind of like looks at you, gives a sigh, and just starts clearing the table. Like, you kind of definitely have a feeling that she has some thoughts on you sitting down before the table's cleared. But she's not saying anything, and a young man comes over and gives her a hand. And
I will try to help as well. Just sweeping stuff.
She kind of stops for a minute and looks and says, "Oh, thanks. I'll be right back."
We poached the table, so yeah, no problem.
The boy goes, "You did what to the table? Oh no, is that going to be a problem?" And she goes, "No, it's fine. So they clear it off. She leaves a wet bar towel on the table, kind of looks at you, Nikita, and says thanks, and takes the two of them take the stuff from the table into the kitchen.
Am I able to clean the whole table? Do I have to stand on it to reach the corners?
I'll help and get to the other side. We can push it back and forth between us.
I like this. This.
Two of you kind of do a little table hockey kind of routine, and you're able to kind of give the table the briefest and lightest of wipe downs. You see the girl come back out, and she takes a tray of food to one table, hands it out, goes back in, hits over to the bar, grabs a tray of tankards and takes that over to a bunch of guys who are laughing and having a good time and nodding to her, and she eventually comes over and says, "Okay, what can I get you to drink?"
Ale.
What do you
I'll have it.
recommend?
Yeah.
I can get you a couple pitchers of ale if that's what you want.
Easy enough.
Very good.
Perfect.
Okay, some of the local best do, or did you have something in particular?
Local best.
Whatever.
Right, go ahead.
There you go. That.
That? Okay, sounds good. I'll be back. And
Thank you.
she says something to the boy. The boy comes over and hands out, puts a tankard in front of each of you. A little bit later on, she comes with 2 pitchers, puts them on the table. And she says, "This is Wet Wizard. It's brewed over there in by just across the bridge in Tipple's Flow. That's where the brewery is. If you're interested, did you want something to eat? We have a special today. We've got shepherd's pie. We've got tingle tots for your little one there if they're interested. We also we've got some mutton. That's fresh, and we've got pork pies. We've got meat pies. We've got pasties. Any of that something you might be interested in? We have fried potatoes. We have
Shepherd's pie for me. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Special. Whatever that is.
Special? Okay, I'll have
Yep.
to see if we have one. When I was looking, it was what? No, that was last night. I'll get it for you. I'll come back.
Yeah.
And how about Madam, you and the little dragon as it appears, the little blue and red dragon. What would you and your dragon like?
What were those tot things you mentioned?
Oh, tingle
Tingle
tots.
tots.
It's tingle tots. It's basically deep fried breaded chicken strips.
Does that sound good to you, little dragon person?
Okay. Good. I'll take care of that right away. You want any fries or French fried potatoes or
Yeah, please.
Okay. Chips it is. And she takes off and probably takes about a half hour, but the food comes out, places it down. Before that, she came with a big bowl of fried potato wedges and a little bowl of like basically like a salad cream as well as like a tomato sauce, like a marinara sort of thing. And then after about a half hour or so, your entrees do come out, and she keeps the pitchers flowing if you're interested.
So thoughts on the Wet Wizards as a potential party name?
Over goes. I could go with that. Wild
that
Wizards, I think,
kind
is a
of
little
reminds
more-
me of the sewers.
Well, we can still stick with the Dire Bunnies.
I was thinking, and Gaius had mentioned something about our sarcasm. What about dire snark?
Ooh, I like that.
Sarcastic savants.
You like the
I don't know.
alliteration? Interesting.
We'll keep shopping it.
Okay, so you drink and you eat and
We listen to the harp.
you listen to the harp and the young lady singing, who still seems uninterested, but it seems like she's moved on from giving her true love a rose to giving them her heart. But for someone who's giving their heart away, she also seems to be giving her soul away because there's just no interest in it whatsoever. But it is what it is. You eat your lunch. It's you enjoy it. It's well made, but it is typical bar food for the most part. Butt trumpets, tingle tots come with a dipping sauce of honey. And when you're all finished, basically the young lady asks if you would like anything for dessert. They actually have ice cream as well as a selection of cakes if you're interested.
I want ice cream.
I'm not gonna lie.
All right, who else for ice cream, and what are the cake selections?
Yeah, what are the cakes?
We have a strawberry shortcake. We have an angel food cake. We have a whiskey cake. We have a triple dipple chocolate cake. And
Right there.
Okay. One of those?
Yeah. Well, a slice, not the whole friggin' cake. Please.
Oh, one slice of that. Young man, sir, would your son like chocolate or vanilla ice cream?
Not his son.
Oh, madam, would your son like the chocolate or vanilla ice cream?
He would like the vanilla or chocolate? Just say yes. Which one?
Both.
Can he get one of each? Like a
He
scoop?
certainly, absolutely, certainly can. Looks to
Can I
you
have a
guys.
slice of whiskey cake?
I'm
Yes, you
fine
may.
with.
Wait, does it have actual whiskey in it?
We wouldn't call it whiskey cake if it didn't. This is Seven Rivers.
Perfect. They will have a piece of whiskey cake.
Okay. Not my job to parent. Anyway, how about you, sir?
Yeah, no, I'm good. As Gaius just takes a drink out of the mug. I'm watching my caloric intake.
Whatever that is. Okay, she says.
Yeah.
Health stuff.
The two cake people, Mom and Dragon, would you like ice cream on your cake?
Yes, 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 yes.
That would be a yes, please, for both of us. Would you like vanilla or chocolate?
Vanilla, please.
Vanilla on the whiskey cake and more chocolate for my triple double, whatever the fuck it was called, chocolate cake. Thank you.
Yeah, if we put that on the menu, that would probably get us in trouble. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, and boy, I'm not surprised. Anyway, coming right up. And would you like some coffee? We have some liqueurs and after dinner beverages, anything like that. After lunch meal beverages, some aperitifs.
I'm
I
okay
think
with
I
it,
am
yeah.
good. Tequila.
Good? Okay. I'll get that out for you right away. And then after a short period of time, your desserts come out.
This place is so fancy.
Very fancy.
This... Actually, Gaius, give me a history check.
Constitution.
A constitution check.
I think we need to bulk up before we go to the Ratskeller tonight.
Yeah.
This way we
No.
can drink more.
It feels like the sort of pub you've been in before.
Where everybody
You
knows
haven't
my
been
name.
you haven't been here before, but it has the feel of the sort of place you've been in before in a couple places. In other words,
Does
it's
it remind
like,
me of McTavish's?
actually, that's kind of what it reminds you a little bit of.
The Applebee's of...
Yeah. It's
Of your world.
but kind of like not the Applebee's so much as if you went to Disney World and there was a quote unquote English pub.
Yeah,
There's
got that shape.
javelins and colorful shields and portraits of famous athletes all over the walls.
Yes,
Yeah.
but instead of athletes, it's Seven Rivers historical figures. It is a lot of farming equipment that seems to be done with grain on the walls, as well as distilling things on the walls. And
Fantasy shenanigans.
there you go. It's the Seven Rivers version of WB McFunksters.
Funksters!
Was our waitress wearing the appropriate amount of flair?
Yes.
Ugh.
Lots of enamel pins on her lanyard.
Okay, so you pay. It's going to be for everything. We're going to say it's 5 gold pieces. She says.
Let me get this
All
one.
right. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, Spasiba Part 2 read.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of feel like I've been freeloading, but that's okay. We'll just,
I know
Okay,
I
so
have.
So what do you give her, Reed?
5 gold and 3 silver.
Okay. She says, "Thank you, young master. That's very kind of you." And
He's a good boy. I elbow him and smile like, hey.
Way to go, bro!
and she walks away and puts the thing, and then kind of her and the young man kind of come up by the table and just kind of like you can see they're kind of standing waiting, and they have the trays and stuff nearby. They're setting them up around the table.
Oh, is this where you kick us out now?
We are not
Yeah.
kicking you out. You can stay as long as you like.
That's a yes.
Gaius drains his beer, puts the mug down, and just gets up.
As you do that, they already are. They then start to put stuff, clear the table,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and even as the last of you are getting out from the table, there's another group pushing in.
If I'm
and
not
you
done my ice cream, I'm still sitting there eating it.
Okay, everyone's gotten up, and whoever looks back notices that there's a whole new family sitting at the table that Reed now seems to be a part of as he's eating his ice cream, oblivious.
Whose son are you now?
Once I realize what's happening, I quickly eat it all.
I gestured to Nikita for uppies.
Ah, right.
Ugh.
The fucking uppies. Yes, I pick them up and put them on my shoulder again.
Okay.
Holy shit, you ate like 5 pounds. You're much heavier.
Oh
What's all
no!
that fried stuff?
Eldred
have
looks
to
at you
dance
and
it off.
says, "They are a growing dragon."
This is true. We must keep them happy and well fed.
I love this. I love being the baby.
Eldred looks around and says, maybe it's the nature of this area. Doesn't look like a resident. There's too much residential in here. It looks like it's all kind of, I mean, I thought that was a little expensive, but I guess it's because people come here for the day. They don't really have. They're kind of stuck in this area unless they want to walk out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So what now?
Well, I guess we gotta let.
Well, what
Gaius
time of the
go
day
get
is it
fish.
now? Yeah.
It's late afternoon.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'll make my way over to the market. I'm going to stop at the one stall to see if they have my armor ready or not. And
Okay.
Then wait for
It
fish.
takes you about an hour to get there, unless you take a carriage. And when you get down there, the armor is not ready, but Carl there remembers you and hands you Reed's shirt, which is a bright red silk material. It's actually cotton, but it's like a shiny cotton that is covered in small little swords and shields and flowers and white tropical birds with like spiky yellow feathers on their heads.
great.
Oh,
So glad
you
I showed
asked
up for that.
Harry shirt.
That was before I knew what Harry was really like.
And Harry says, it's not Harry, it's Carl, says,
Yeah.
your armor isn't going to be ready till at least Monday. One of the pieces I thought I had for you turned out not to be good enough to put on. So I have another one coming tomorrow. I'm picking up tomorrow, so I should have it for you by Monday.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good then.
Good. Then I'll see you Monday. Nikita, Reed, Butt Trumpet, and Eldred, what would you like to do now that you're in the Artisan District and Gaius has left you?
Is it party time?
Is it party time or not yet? Is the sun still up?
always dress like it's party time.
Yes, you are. Okay, so where we head to the Ratskeller or the magic shop or what? Or we go party
the
at the
magic
Black
shop.
Cathedral.
Well, we
They've
should go to the
been
magic
closed
shop
when
before
I
they
come.
close.
No, I was thinking I want to find out who built this bloody Black Cathedral, but we should hit the magic shop before it closes.
It takes you about a half hour to get down towards that area. You see before you even get there, you notice the tower first comes into sight, and then the next thing you notice are the walls of the universities. And you get down there and you're in the square, and Reed, you and Butt Trumpet and even Eldred notice that when Nikita points it out, like, how the hell could you have missed this shop before? Because it's basically the medieval fantasy version of flashing neon lights. The colors are so bright, and it's got these kind of flags hanging across the front of it. It's all bright colors, and you hear music playing from inside that sounds almost like big band music almost. It's really loud. It's just, every now and then you hear cheers and all sorts of stuff.
What's going on in there?
They're very happy, like forcibly happy. And yeah, you have to ask for specifically, like, head to the back or something. Otherwise, they try to sell you, oh, this is a potion of coagulation. What was it? Something along those. Just crap, bullshit crap. So that was redundant. Yeah. Go in, head to the back, look for the official people.
I won't buy anything because I don't know what I don't know what I'm looking at.
Maybe
Okay.
I think I
wasn't
worked there.
Eldred says, well, you are a magical dragon, obviously.
Well, yes, of course.
You head across Wizard's Fall Square, passing the statue and everything, and you head into the shop simply labeled Magic Shop. And the first thing you notice is tables and racks and everything, and bookshelves. Tables filled with, according to the sign, magical potions. And they seem to be glass vials filled with different colored liquids, and the liquids are all super bright. They are in super unnaturally bright colors. There's a bookshelf marked magic spell books. You see a bin with a bunch of what look like wooden swords painted silver that says magical swords. And there's all sorts of stuffed animals of wizards and dragons and unicorns and just about anything you can imagine, except everything looks like a cross between... It's as if the gift shop from a theme park was in a mall. One of you,
If we were looking for anything.
Butt Trumpet and Reed, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Butt Trumpet lets out a little toot. Reed,
Oh, come on, not when you're on my shoulders.
Reed, you notice in the back a white painted counter, and around in front of it you notice a lot of dried herbs, bunches of dried plants hanging from the ceiling. There seems to be behind the counter some large glass jars filled with different sorts of powders and dried plants and such. You notice some bookshelves back there that are not quite so vividly painted. It seems almost to be an entirely different section, but you have to go through some a beaded curtain to get back there.
Okay. Reed points it out to Eldred. I'll bet that's the good stuff back there.
Eldred's kind of looking around, looking up, and as you follow his gaze, you realize that this shop is kind of set up like an octagon and seems to go up about 5 floors with all the stuff. You know, there's kind of like a fence in, and the ceiling up above you it's clear for like 5 floors, and up there's things kind of like on mobiles twisting around above you with that occasionally spit out sparks and confetti and music and all sorts of stuff, and they seem to glow brightly colored lights.
Point that out to Butt Trumpet. Look at that. Look at all that.
You
stuff
notice
up there.
like one floor seems to be nothing but books. One floor seems to be nothing but clothing. Another floor seems to be crates and tables of things that you're not sure what it is. Looks like it might be some sort of gear. And you can't tell what the uppermost floors are.
Nikita, where'd you see the staff?
It was either up 1 floor or 2 floors. Did you want to check the, I think, the one in the back behind the beaded curtain thingy? Eldred, maybe for, like, magical stuff?
He's already on his way there as you say that.
Well, what the fuck? So I'll follow him.
I tag along.
Okay. He's there. He's kind of looking through the bookshelf, kind of just reading all the titles, and you go back there, and when you go through the beaded curtain, your senses immediately pick up the smells of these different herbs. It is incredibly nice compared to numerous places you've been, but for any of you who might be a little sensitive to like super strong perfume or something, it is a tad bit of an assault on the senses from just all these different herbs and dried flowers and all these different things that just seem to be hanging and drying from the ceiling back here.
That reminds me,
Oh,
Nikita.
that's pungent.
You got that smelly stuff on you.
Yeah, I'm getting a little overwhelmed.
There's an older, thin woman, looks to be up in age, standing behind the counter with a white long jacket, kind of measuring out some stuff on a scale.
Hello.
Ah, hello, young sir. Are you a student?
No. Well, no.
Well, what can I help you with?
Oh, I'm just here with my friends. He's a wizard. I point to Eldred.
Okay. Eldred's over there in the books, just going through the books. Occasionally he pulls one out and starts paging through it.
He is though a student, right? Or almost a student. He got the letter to go in. Are there like student specials or something of whatever you're making?
Oh, well, we just, if you're a student, then when you buy something, we make a note of it and send it over to the university weekly to let them know what the students are buying for their classes and for their labs and all of that, to so that they can then mark it down and keep it in their files.
Tracking system, so no one's buying anything too nasty or under the table.
Well, I think part of it goes into making some form of an adjustment the next year for the next semester's tuition. I'm not 100% sure though. If you buy it from here, because the university actually owns the shop. Or some of the professors own the shop, we'll say, not the university itself. It's some of the actual professors. So,
May we ask which ones?
I'm not at liberty to say, actually. It's
No,
kind
that's
of a
okay.
conflict of interest, but I think, I'm not 100% sure, but
No
we're
worries.
not
I
supposed to say one way or the other. Were you
going-
interested in anything? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say,
Nope,
Meadow?
that's okay. We're actually going to another professor-owned establishment after this, the Ratskeller. So
Prudence. Yes, I know Prudence. He's
Ah.
in here periodically.
I can imagine.
Or, excuse me, Professor Sparklebottom. I shouldn't be so familiar with people I just met. I'm terribly sorry.
That's quite all right. I'll forget in 5 minutes. What are you making here? Are you allowed to tell us what you have?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Different herbs and different basically components that people would need for the spells that they're doing or learning. We have we have supplies of parchment and ink specifically for spell use. Basically, whereas the front is usually the families of the students who want to take home something as a little memento, we're the actual store where the students buy their supplies and their books that they have to study and things like that. All of their stuff for brewing up their cauldrons and kettles and like I said, all of the different powders and components that they might need.
Is there anything
Reed
you know
just
of-
backs up to a wall and is just trying not to touch anything. Okay.
I tried to do that yesterday. But Trumpet, is there anything you need for any of your casting? Do you know?
I look over at Eldred. What do you think, given what we've gone over so far?
Well, if any of your spells need components, this might be a place to do them. I mean, I haven't found a place in the market yet that really has done this sort of stuff, but
Actually, I'd like to look over at some of the powders.
okay.
I want to look at some of the colors that we have.
Okay. There are powders of all manner of color. They're not super bright colors like the stuff like a lot of the potions, quote unquote, and T-shirts and everything you saw out in the front of the store. My child went to university and all I can afford is this lousy T-shirt sort of stuff.
That sounds about right.
These are very earthy colors, very kind of forest colors. It's you notice that a number of them are dried this or ground that. A lot of herbs, a lot of flowers, a lot of crushed and dried ginger. But then there's stuff like dried bat guano, which whatever that is, and magnesium, and there's a section that's a small wooden box filled with iron rods, and
Well, here's a question. Do you have any spiders?
As a matter of fact, I have dried spiders. I have dried parts of spiders.
Wizards are so weird.
I'd like to.
I have
Can I
powdered
hand the
spider
trumpet
webs.
off to Eldred or onto the counter because I don't want to. I want to back up the 3.
You can just kind of place them on the counter. Absolutely.
Kick him a little feed off the edge.
Butt Trumpet sits there.
The
The stuffed tail that sticks out behind them because they're sitting, it kind of creates almost like this question mark over top of their head, and the woman that Butt Trumpet is talking to kind of keeps having to move around around the tail, because as Butt Trumpet kicks their feet over the edge of the counter, the tail just kind of wags back and forth a little bit.
Oh no!
Says, and so you have that picture going. So what sort of powders do you have, and what sort of spiders were you looking for?
Well,
What do you have?
Well, actually, when I say powders, I kind of meant like colored sand.
I have sand. Is that a particular component? I don't think we've been asked that too often for colored sand.
Oh, just for a little spell I've been kicking around. I wanted to test it out. It involves like colorful things. That's all.
Ah,
But
okay. Hold up. I let me go see if what sand we have. See if maybe it's something you might be able to use. She goes around and there's like racks of shelves that she goes between to go to the back, and she disappears for a little bit. She comes out with 2 small glass jars, puts them out on the counter, takes off the wooden lids that kind of are almost like wooden lids with a flat amount of cork on the bottom to keep them airtight. And inside the one is a sand that's kind of like a pastel orange, almost. It's very earthy, but a little on the orangey side. And there's one that is black. It's black sand, but it almost looks like it's got little bits of clear crystal in it. Like, it almost looks like it's got bits of salt kind of here and there in it. But for the most part, it's this kind of black as midnight sort of colored sand.
Okay.
Well,
these are very...
I was just going to say, these are the 2 brightest colors I have. Everything else seems to be beige, or I have something a little on the white side of sand, but I wasn't sure if that was something you'd be interested in.
That's okay. For now, then, I can just kind of look at your selection of spiders. It doesn't have to be any specific.
Okay.
Reed feels Nikita do a little shiver.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Okay, she goes back and she takes the sand back with her. She comes out with 2 more jars and puts them down, one bigger than the other. The smaller one, she says, this is dried and ground up spider. And this other one is actually dried spiders. So, I mean, the one looks like just a kind of a blackish brown powder. The other one that's ground fine, and the other one actually looks like, from a distance, it looks like dark dried flowers. But when it gets closer, you notice that they're they're small little arachnids that are dried, and the legs are kind of pointy and curled up. And if you wanted live spiders, I would need a little more detail. I'd have to order them, unfortunately, because we don't keep them on hand. We don't keep living components on hand.
Imagine the poor soul who has to catch spiders. Ugh.
No, that's okay. How much is a jar?
A full jar.
Fuck, you need a full jar for?
In case I need to do this multiple times.
Okay.
Yes. Do what?
Did you want the whole dried spiders or just the ground up spiders?
Dried.
The whole dried ones?
If they come in smaller jars and it's a smaller portion, that's okay too.
Oh yes, yeah. I can do that in jars or little. I have bags as well. I can put them in. And basically it would be by weight. How much you want? They're very light. And if you want me to sell you a jar, I can do that too.
Well, how much would a full jar be?
what size jar are you looking at? And she kind of points at the different sizes on the counter there. There anything from what might be the equivalent of a cosmetic jar to a peanut butter jar to kind of what someone might make sun tea in to like a big F-off jar of something.
Okay, how much for a cosmetic jar?
Of the dried spiders, she says the jar itself I'd give you that for 5 copper. And she goes, let me do that. She starts taking the scales and she reaches in and with some tweezers kind of takes out enough each individual spider, sometimes 2 or 3 at a time, and until she fills the jar. And
Nikki
then
just
puts
pulls
it
a scarf down over her eyes.
Reed leans into Nikita and is like, "That's going to be in your room at the Stone's Throw."
No. She gets her own. They get their own room after this. Fuck that. I have to draw the line at fucking dried spiders. Come on.
Oh no!
Eldred will have to stay in the room with.
But behind you, you hear like Reed kind of whispering something. You hear Nikita kind of go.
Trust me, if this works, it's gonna look really cool.
Will it hurt people? Like,
Nope.
So
Just
it's
gonna make
just to
me
look
do something
cool.
really cool, I promise.
The woman says the jar and the spiders will be a silver for all together.
I place a piece of silver and slide it in front of her. Thank you so
She
much.
slides, puts the lid on the jar and slides it back towards you.
So, I try to hop off the counter as daintily as I can, though I know that's not very easy to do.
Well, being that the counter is kind of just below chest height for Nikita, give me a dexterity check, please.
Eldred, can you catch them? Because
Hey!
You push yourself off and just kind of land with as like a gymnast. It's amazing. And matter of fact, so much so that you even kind of surprise yourself a little bit.
So, Eldred, you claim you can teach people to fly. How about some, climby movement?
Eldred turns around and goes, oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we can work on that.
I climb really good. Is that what you need to know how to climb?
The spiders come in handy and they're a factor. So,
No, never mind. I'm out.
yeah.
I just lose all my friends at the end of this session. No one cares if I get taken or anything because I scared everyone away with the spiders.
That's
I
not
want to
true.
watch them try to kidnap you and then go, spiders!
That's
Well,
hysterical.
that's all for me. I think that's all the damage I need to do.
So, is this like a big glass jar thing?
What? There are big glass jars here, but are you talking about what Butt Trumpet has?
Yeah, what?
It's
what
about the size of
BT
my hand, I think, maybe smaller.
Smaller, yeah. It's about the size of, like, what a woman's makeup, like, not even as big as a cold cream, but, like a small, like what maybe blush or something like that might come in. Is that about
it's
right,
compact.
Nikita? Butt Trumpet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's compact. It's pocket size.
Yeah.
yeah. Like a little dropper for the serum.
Unless you really need that glass, you should probably put that in like a pouch or something. So
Oh my
Otherwise,
gosh,
it'll break. And
does the
there'll be
onesie
spiders
have like a little
everywhere.
fanny pack on the tummy?
No, but it does have pockets.
That works. Pockets is.
Eldred, is there anything you see that you like?
He already has a stack of books and is talking to another woman at the other end of the counter who is measuring out things in a whole bunch of pouches, and already it's come into a whole bunch of things, as well as a stack of paper and a number of jars of ink.
Damn, he's busy. Can I ask the woman at the counter where the staffs are? Staves? Plural, wacky, wood?
Third
Would you
floor,
like
but there are some real ones up there, but
Okay.
a lot of them are meant, people buy them for their old grandfathers and such, to say, here, you old wizard, or whatever you say to people like that.
Okay, I wasn't sure. And I
mean, there are
vaguely
some
remember-
there are some good ones up there and everything, but she looks around. Quite frankly, they're definitely overpriced from what you can find elsewhere. But you didn't hear that from me.
Understood. I greatly appreciate that, Spasiba. Do I remember seeing sparkly hats?
Oh
on
God,
the
yeah.
table?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that
There were some right as you came in. There were a lot of those conical shaped, blue sparkly hats with like stars and crescent moons on them, with a big white and silver sparkly round band around the bottom of them. Up on the second floor, you remember seeing all sorts of hats of different types. Many of
Because
them,
Reed had asked about hats. That's right.
yeah, many of them sparkly, many of them having different things kind of sticking up from them.
Cool. Do you want to go look at hats, Reed?
Okay. Sure.
You go up to the
Trumpet,
second.
do you want to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, after you.
I was just going to say, do you want to come with us and look at hats, or do you want to keep an eye on Eldred before he buys the store?
No. I wanna look. The big sparkly hats sound fun.
Excellent. Okay, now that you've
On
hidden the
top of
spider,
what I already have.
yeah, just keep the spiders hidden, and I'll be okay to carry you.
Out of sight, out of mind.
We'll go up to the second floor then to look at hats.
Okay. There are a lot of them that are obviously novelty hats. There's a number of the wizards cone hats of different colors with different. There's some with, the celestial pattern on them. There's some that are just covered in flowers. There's some that have pictures, like the stereotypical daisy kind of patterns on them. There are lots of the same thing, but in the regard to almost like witches' hats with the big brim of different styles and colors and patterns. There are hats that seem to be even further into the novelty section that have big, almost foam-like bat wings sticking out the sides. Dragon wings, kind of that make it look like the hat is actually a dragon sitting on your head. There's hats that are bright white that have a big golden horn sticking out the front of them. Ones that are winged almost like your helmet, except imagine your helmet as a plushie toy. There's lots of helmets as well, but all of them are made of like tin.
Right.
Some of them are tin covered in are padded helmets, not made of metal, but actually made of very similar things to what the the dragon's wings are made out of, that plushy material. So just about anything you can think of in just about any form of pattern or color you can think of.
I'd like to go over to the wizard pointed cone hats and pick up the one with like the sparkliest planets and stuff. Last night, when Eldred was teaching me magic, he told me that these are very official wizard's caps.
Of course he did.
Maybe he'll train me to be good enough to be worthy to wear one.
We can always hope.
I push back my hood and I put the cone hat on. I mean, I would be so highly respected. Couldn't you just see me walking around like this?
You look over and the cone is like a hot pink with daisies and all sorts of flowers of bright colors that are nothing but sparkles and glitter. And coming out of the top are kind of colors of bright colored springs. And on the end of the springs are butterflies and snails just bouncing around them.
That looks really good, BT.
Thank you. I'm not nearly experienced enough to be able to wear one of these yet, but I'm gonna remember this hat.
Yep.
Lichna.
We'll have to come back and get it when you're more experienced.
Yes.
Is there anything else anyone would like to buy or look at?
I have very vague memories of Professor Sparklebottom asking about a sparkle beret. Is that ringing any bells?
There
No?
are berets here, and you find some made of sequins.
And how much are they?
4 silver pieces, maybe.
Oh,
Most of them are made for children.
She is a gnome. Could I guesstimate her size that it would fit her? Or?
They kind of, because they're made for children, they're almost, it's the fantasy equivalent of elastic inside. In other words, they're a little stretchy, so they would probably fit, but if they were put through the wash, they'd be destroyed.
Oh, okay. Damn. All right. I'll have to keep looking then for maybe a better quality one. Besides, she might even own this joint, so for all we know.
Anything else?
Just
As you
pick up Eldred.
Okay,
Yep.
as you come down to the first floor, and there are things kind of popping with confetti around you out of the top of displays on the different tables. You see Eldred come through the curtain, the beaded curtain, with both his hands filled as his chin basically holding down the top of this huge stack he has of books and boxes and just all sorts of stuff. And he goes, "I got what I need."
Should we drop that off at the stone's throw before we head over to Party Ratskeller?
I can do that. Yeah, I can just run this home and then meet you there if you want.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay. He goes, "I'm going to go." And he walks out the front door, and just as he gets to the door, you see him actually kind of do a spin and like almost lose the entire stack as a crowd of small children come through the front door, and behind them you see a guy going, "Bobby, Billy, Bertha, get back here." And they come in there and try to wrangle up those kids. So you then head towards the Ratskeller?
Sounds like a plan. Are we all... Oh, I need to wash my face, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
Crap. And I just sent away the guy who does the prestidigit what's-a-fuck-it.
The prestidigitory do.
That's keep forgetting that's the name.
But I like your prestidigit. What's the bucket? I like that better.
I think that's canon now. We'll move on to Gaius here, since you've been in the magic shop for a little bit. Gaius, you
Yes, I'm still here.
okay? You're in the market. What are you looking for?
Well, I was mostly came for the armor, hoping that was there. Obviously, that didn't happen. So now I'm waiting for Feesh to show up. So I guess I kind of look around, see if there's some purveyor of liquid beverages, and then
Okay, you see you remember from before. There's a number of pubs surrounding the market. There are some like a block or so away from the market, maybe a block or two away from the market. There are people at tents and carts, depending on the size of the distillery, who are selling different liquors that they make here in Seven Rivers, giving tastings and selling mugs and tankards of them, as well as jugs sometimes. Give me a history check, please.
nope,
So close.
Okay.
no, not at all.
Okay.
Closer than that one.
Yeah, this is true. So, okay, what do you do?
Look for like maybe one of those outdoor carts, maybe with like if they have stools or something, like one that like some outdoor seating, and just go over there and just kind of like pulling up and just keep an eye out because I saw Feesh like basically right kind of outside the armorer's tent. And we said we would meet around here again.
Okay.
So just kinda
actually, I believe you said you were going to meet somewhere specific.
Yep. Nope. Don't remember.
Okay. Well, you find a chair outside a cafe or a tavern, and you start drinking.
Let's see. Did I write that down?
And we will, while you're working on that, we'll head back to Nikita, Reed, and Butt Trumpet, who now are alone, and Eldred has gone on. As you come out of the shop, you see Eldred in a hansom cab, the seat next to him piled high with books and boxes. Eldred has one hand holding the stuff in place, and the other one, he already has a book open that he seems to be reading, and they take off. And where do you head?
Is there somewhere to wash up without going back to the stove? So,
there are occasionally fountains in some of the squares. This particular one, there is not a fountain because the center is that large statuary.
A small fountain somewhere would be good, that I can hide a little and...
Give me a perception check.
Or,
Can I
just
help?
out in the open.
Yes, do it with advantage, Nikita.
Oh, thank God.
At which point Gaius is off in the market. It's like, shit, McTavish's. Pays for the one drink he's like, it just fucking gets up and leaves.
Green giant.
Well, it kind of sound like that,
Gaius, you hear, sir, you have to pay for that. And
I did. I paid.
Okay.
I said I paid.
And the woman says, "No, sir, you have not paid me for that drink."
I did. Here. Well, how much? Silver?
Silver. Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, thank you, sir. Stiff me, you will. Anyway, Nikita,
Drink was shit anyway.
My God.
Accusing me of thievery.
Nikita, you remember on the way to the Ratskeller, if you look down the one alley, you're not sure if it's a square or like a little like a little area behind one of the buildings that might belong to someone, but you remember kind of like a little garden with a fountain in the center of it, just like down a very narrow alley on the way to the Ratskeller, like between some of the taller buildings.
Okay, I think I remember her place, but it might be somebody's backyard. So I will be as quick and quiet and sneaky as I can.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
we head towards.
you get to the alley, which is like a block or so, about 2 blocks away from where you remember the Ratskeller is. You're on the street that the alley opens into. Who goes down? Who does what?
I can keep watch if you want to go down there with Nikita. Butt trumpet.
Sure, okay.
Okay.
But Trump, you're going to stealth down there with Nikita?
Yep, me looking as subtle as possible.
Like a
In
baby
big
dragon.
suit.
Okay. Both are, Nikita, are you trying to stealth or are you just walking down there?
I'm just going to walk down there, but if it looks like somebody's backyard, I might stealth to the fountain.
You get down, it's like a little more than 3/4 of a block down this alley. And when you get to the edge, it does look like it might be a small little area that does seem a little private. It looks like someone's garden. There's some chairs. There's a small table. It definitely seems like someone's been taking care of potted plants and such around here. And in the center is this little trickling fountain. It is very peaceful here. And you do notice there is a door to the one building that opens onto this little area, but it's the only door. But it's shut. It doesn't have any windows or anything like that in the door, so the coast does seem clear.
Should I knock or should I just... What do you think, Butt Trumpet?
I mean, I may not be the best authority, but if the coast is clear...
Should I do an investigation check or perception check or...
I could
somebody
too. I can
weapon
also
check?
like look around.
If you'd like to do an investigation with advantage, with Butt Trumpet's help, you're welcome to do that. What exactly are you looking for?
People, lights on.
Is anyone watching? Any windows? Any...
Oh, okay. Roll me an investigation with advantage.
Guard dogs.
Guard dogs.
Guard
Guard
badgers.
spiders. Oh, yeah.
Coast is clear. You don't see anything.
Yeah.
I'll also look.
No, that was your also looking because that was her with advantage.
Balls.
I will go up to the fountain. I will try to walk carefully and quietly. I will just take the scarf off and stuff it in my pack quickly and then basically rinse my face and head with water.
Okay, give me... Are you trying to stealth to the fountain? It's not very far. Give me a stealth roll.
Gulp.
Your specialty.
Yes.
Hey.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
No
Oh
pun
my
intended.
Butt Trumpet, Nikita is so stealthy, you don't even realize she's gone and already has her head in the fountain when you turn to say, I don't see anyone. And then you look around going, I really don't see anyone. Nikita, you are so stealthy, you pull off basically giving yourself a bird bath and like you don't even hear the splashing of water. You obviously somehow are using a combination of the water in the fountain with the water trickling off the bowl above, almost like a shower, and you take care of yourself. You get all of this stuff off of you. You stand up very proud of yourself, about ready to turn around, and as you look into the fountain, the entire bottom of the fountain just seems to be beige colored water, whereas before it was crystal clear.
Well, they probably can afford filters.
Well, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do at that point, so yep, we're bolting.
Okay.
It's like pool hopping.
Butt trumpet, you see Nikita wash herself. It's like really, you finally see that she's there when you realize she's not next to you. And she almost, for some reason, it's almost like she blends in with the fountain. She stands up and kind of gives her head a bristle, and she's still kind of really quiet and moving very still and sneakily. Looks down into the fountain. Her eyes go a little wide, looks at you, and then starts running out of there and down the alleyway.
I made the mess. Time to go.
Go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go.
Reed, you're there and haven't heard anything, and all of a sudden you hear the clanging of armor going clang, 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 and you look, and here comes Nikita running down the aisle, followed behind her by these little quick feet of this bright red dragon waddling, running behind them out of the alley.
What did you do?
Don't worry about it. Ask questions later.
I made a mess, though, with the stuff that came off my face. So, yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right. Off we go.
Okay, so you head to the Ratskeller?
To the Ratskeller!
Okay. Each of you give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
One perception check coming up.
I thought I was getting away with it.
Okay. Reed,
Yes.
you notice as you're about almost a full block away from the Ratskeller. It's a little later in the day. It's getting to be early evening. You notice at the intersection in which the Ratskeller is on, you remember there's basically a pretty decent sized road going around two sides of it. It's at an intersection at the two front corners.
Okay.
Parked across the Ratskeller at that intersection would be on your left. At the corner in front of the building on the right, there is a carriage that you can see as you're walking down towards it. It's a very nice carriage. It's obviously not like one of the people in the city that sell, that give rides, and it's not like the taxi-like carriage.
Okay.
It's got two very nice horses in the front that even have little pom-poms sticking up from their head to match the color of the carriage. You notice a guy dressed formally, obviously in a service type capacity, but in a much nicer dress, at the front of the horses, talking to a very attractive young woman. And you can tell by the look on his face with that role that they're kind of flirting back and forth, and he seems a little shy and almost a little embarrassed and talking. And at first you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, until you notice at the back of the carriage, like he is at the front with the horses on your side where you're looking at the carriage. Okay?
Right.
If you went to the other side of the carriage, all the way in the back, at the back wheel, you don't think anything of it, but all of a sudden you see a young guy, probably in his 20s, stand up from behind the back wheel, look around, motion behind him, like with his head, like, come along. Another young guy, roughly about the same age, and they look similar in their face, except the one at the wheel had kind of brownish red hair, and the other one that comes along has definitely brown hair. The haircuts are different. The one has closer cropped hair. The other one has longer hair. That one comes along, looks around, lifts up the back of the carriage. It's almost like if a carriage had a trunk, but there's obviously like a little box at the back of the carriage. Lifts that up, takes a sack, puts it into that box, closes it. They both look around and they start heading back down the road that comes up to this intersection. As they're going, you can tell from your experience that they're obviously trying to stealth away. And as you get closer, you notice from the Ratskeller comes a very fancily dressed lady, a woman probably in her 30s, possibly early 40s. You're not 100% sure from this area, from this distance. Flanked by two men in armor. And we're talking kind of like splint mail kind of armor, but dressed with like capes out the back and with like obviously colors and their these chest plates that are puffed out. And they're on either side of her, and she has her nose up in the air, dressed beautifully in this. Like, you don't know fashion, but whatever she's wearing must have cost a pretty penny because it looks really, really fancy to you.
Okay.
They take her to the carriage. She does not look happy, but her nose is up in the air and she seems kind of snooty and pissed off. They open the door for her. She gets in. As she starts to come out of the Ratskeller, you notice the girl flirting with the guy at the front looks past him, sees her coming, and then seems to rush goodbyes and like, you know, almost you get the feeling like she's going, well, maybe, you know, call me, that sort of discussion, and quickly kind of hurries down and then down the street where you saw the two guys go. And
how far away are we from the carriage?
Probably a little more than half a block away. And you see him, the guy from the front of the carriage, kind of follow her gaze, see the woman coming out of the Ratskeller, and like all of a sudden, obviously like he's surprised that she's coming out, and quickly turns around and climbs up into the carriage, and gets like his whip ready and takes the reins, and just kind of watches as she comes along and gets in the carriage. And the two guards, one of the guards opens up the carriage for her. She gets in, and then each one of the guards kind of climbs on a running board at the back of the carriage. Go on. Can
I start to rush up there and see if I can get their attention before they take off?
Absolutely. Give me roll me a 20-sider.
18.
Okay.
Nice.
You get up to the intersection as they start to pull away, and it's beginning to pick up speed. You get to the intersection, and they're pulling away from the Ratskeller, going down the street away from it.
Can I call out to the guards? To
the guard,
they're the closest ones to me, right? They're in the back.
Yeah, they're not city guard or anything like that. They obviously look like personal attendants, but in armor.
Okay.
So you call to them. What do you say?
Stop the carriage. Stop.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Can Butt Trumpet tonight? Do we see him take off and follow, or?
You see Reed all of a sudden start running forward. The two of you were kind of preoccupied. Okay, 9. You get up to the intersection. You're calling to them. There's like a reverberation of vibration and noise coming from the Ratskeller. And there's a whole bunch of people in line around the Ratskeller waiting to get in. all talking amongst themselves and pretty loud. And there are people around the street areas here and there, just coming to and fro. And so when you say that, they don't appear to hear you. And you can kind of tell that, you're kind of being drowned out by all the things around you, all the people, the actual vibrations coming from the building of the Rathskeller itself. So they don't even seem to hear you.
Can I run as fast as I can to maybe hop up next to one of those guards?
Sure. Give me another dexterity check with disadvantage because they've had a chance to really kind of pick up some speed at this point.
Nah.
Okay.
8.
Nikita and Butt Trumpet, you see him get to the intersection. The Rathskeller is on the left. You see him run around the corner and start sprinting down the street to the right. Reed, they're picking up some speed. You think you're making good... You think you're running your butt off and that you're making good progress and kind of like you might possibly be able to catch up with them. When all of a sudden, you notice by the one rear wheel, the rear left wheel, there is a flash of fire, like a ball of flame explodes. Oh. And within seconds of that, the entire back end of the carriage explodes into a burst of flame. And it all seems to have emanated from that box at the very back, or the back of the carriage, you're not 100% sure. Blowing off, like, easily 2/3 of this carriage into splinters. And just a ball of flame, and the front third of the carriage kind of goes up in the air about 15 feet, lifting the back ends of the horses up even a little bit off the ground. The carriage flips over onto its side and spins around so that like the horses are kind of almost facing towards you at this point. The driver went flying. You're not sure where he is. The bodies of the 2 guards on the back are scattered amongst the debris, and you can tell that they're not all in one piece. You come across, and there's like a boot with a leg still in it, and it's just, and the carriage and the bits are all in flame, and there's still even little kind of bits of things on fire, on flame, kind of just raining down from the sky all around you. And that is where we're going to end it for this evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad you could join us. So as to not take up the entire session with Gaius's fish date, we are going to do a special episode this coming Friday evening here at Grognard and Friends. It will be like a normal episode of Grognard and Friends. It'll start this Friday night at 6 o'clock. And it'll go to however long it goes. And so please tune in this Friday. Same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. And if you like what we're doing, please follow us here on Twitch. Also, you can catch up on past episodes of Grognard and Friends on YouTube. And we would love it if you could hit that subscribe and like button to help us to be able to continue to do what we do. So until next time, until this coming Friday, we look forward to seeing you again. We hope you all have a wonderful day. Wherever you go, whoever you are with, wherever you put your attentions, just remember, be kind.
Hey there, kid! Come and talk to me. I think you're cute.